Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I think, 2 minutes late, and you definitely have my apologies. I was caught up doing a couple of things, but it is definitely good to be with you. Happy Friday, people. We have made it through another week, and I will tell you, the week for me has gone really quickly. At least I feel like it has been a very fast and productive week. I've been very busy, both on the professional side, on the personal side, and as it relates to the channel. So I'm not sure how many people are actually going to show up for this live stream, given what the topic of the live stream is. It is actually a giveaway for the Hulk one that I showed in a video earlier this week and actually showed for the very first time on the Ready, Set, Go preview show on Sunday night. So I'm not sure how many people are actually going to show up for this. It could just be the handful of people that are actually entered into the giveaway that will show up, but we will make the best out of whoever shows up. And what I will say is that we will do the drawing relatively quickly, and then we will move on to talk about other things. If there's things that you guys want to talk about, we will definitely dig into some of those things. So let me scroll up here real quick and say hello to the comic book soldiers that have joined me here. Simon is here. Tiger is in the house. Andrew K is here. Nikki is here. H Factor is in the house. Super honorable nephew here. Ross is here. Scrolling down through the names. Jesse, the Batcave is here. Ja F is here. Young T is in the house. Matthew, how you doing? Kimball is in the house. It is good to see you, my friend. Tina is here as well. Always good to see you and chat with you. Union Josh Comics is here. It is good to see you. Eddie Torres, Harvey Abel, Master Blaster, Matt Forge, Herb in Legend. It is good to see you guys. Tommy says, hey, Reggie, just clocked in for work. I'll check out the replay. Stay safe. Thank you, brother, for swinging by the live stream for just a couple of moments. I definitely appreciate that. Collectible Zeke is here. It's good to see you, my friend. Backseat Driver is in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Nate McCall is here. We have a David up in here, and then we have a massive super chat from Lee. He says, phone notifications are finally working. Man, I was actually looking at Lee, the statistics the other day on who it is that watches the channel, right? And it's very interesting that the number of views that come from notifications is relatively low. And my immediate thought was it would probably be higher if you actually sent out the notifications, YouTube people, right? Because it was like the browse feature and the suggested videos were like the highest in terms of viewers. But I'm like, if you just turned on notifications for the 7,000 people that are already subscribed to the channel, the number would look a little bit different. So we are definitely glad that at least for today, Lee, that the notifications are actually working. And thank you very much for the super chat. I definitely appreciate that. I will tell you that as I analyze that data, I also noticed that there's the US. The US represents, because I'm US based, represents very strongly. But then there's a Canada. There's a Canada contingent that is pretty strong there, and sometimes it dances back and forth with the UK, but Canada is pretty strong as you look at the data. So shout out to all the Canadians that tune in all the time. Welcome, Emilio, to the live stream, my friend. He says that this is his first live stream, so I definitely want to welcome you. I hope that it is not your last live stream, my friend. So it is definitely good to see you. All right, so let me scroll down. All right. So I think I'm all caught up, and I see my phone blinking off to the side here, and I assume that it was one of those notifications that tells me that I am actually live on YouTube. I thought that's what it was, but it was not. It was some other stuff. But the purpose of this live stream is to identify the person that is going to be winning this book right here. This is Hulk #1. This is a book that I put up for grabs earlier this week. And to get in the running for this book, you basically had to buy a t-shirt. If you bought a t-shirt, you were automatically in the running. And what I will tell you is that buying the t-shirts puts me in a position to be able to take those funds and then to be able to get more t-shirts. So I actually have right now 2 t-shirt designs that I'm going to hopefully move over to the printer. I'm waiting for the graphic designer to complete a few other sample designs that he wants me to take a look at. I'll make a decision on the 2 that I feel the strongest about, and then I'll actually get those printed and I will release those to you guys at some point. I will probably put a little space between this because a lot of people bought shirts. So I don't want to just keep going back to back to back with shirts and selling stuff. And so I'll probably put a little bit of distance between them. But rest assured that with these funds, I am going to move them over to another project and keep things rolling forward. And then I mentioned this to the Patreon members. There are a few other things that I'm working on in the background that you guys will be hearing about, hopefully in the coming weeks to the next couple of months in some cases. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and do this giveaway real quick. So let me share my screen so that you guys can actually see the list. These are all of the individuals that entered the giveaway. It is a relatively short list of names, I didn't have a ton of shirts on hand, but more than what I was comfortable with in terms of pulling the trigger on another t-shirt order. So all of these individuals are folks that actually picked up shirts, and they are now in the running for that Hulk 1. And the Hulk 1 book is pretty cool because there is an assumption that multiple Hulks, including the Red Hulk, could appear in the upcoming She-Hulk streaming service whenever that is going to make its debut. All right, so let me go ahead and roll some dice, and then we'll figure out how many times we are going to have to randomize. One sec. We have a late entrant here. I was not expecting that. I actually probably should have taken that down. Okay, that's actually all right. So that's not. Someone actually just ordered a shirt, and I was afraid that it was actually a very last shirt that is still available. It's actually a small shirt, so I'm able to move forward now. All right, so we're gonna roll these dice and see how many times we're gonna have to randomize this list. And what we came up with is 6. We came up with 6. Before we do that, looks like a couple of super chats have popped in here, so I want to acknowledge those before they disappear. Herb in Legend, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. And then scrolling down, I just watched your dirty grading video. I'm going to send you a close-up shot of just the spine tick and ask what grade it should be. Thank you in advance. It's all good, brother. So this is Lee, dropped a second super chat here. Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, if you message me on Instagram, that's probably the best way to reach me. Is if you hit me on Instagram, it allows me to respond instantaneously, right? It takes me a little bit longer with the emails and things like that, but Instagram is definitely an easy way to reach out to me. All right, so we rolled 6. We rolled 6, and we are going to randomize this list a total of 6 times, and then we are going to give away a really cool book, and then I'm going to recap on a couple of other things in terms of next steps. So 6 times. Let me shrink this back down because that is too big. That is 1 right there. Here is 2. Here is 3. That's 4. That's 5. And the winner of a really cool Hulk 1 comic book 9.6 is Christopher P. Christopher P., you are the winner. Congratulations, Christopher. Please, I guess I have already your contact information, so you don't really need to send me anything. But if you want the comic mailed to a different location, make sure you provide me with that information. But Christopher P., you are the winner of this really cool book. So just reach out to me if you want it sent to a different place for some reason or another. Just let me know that. But what I will be doing immediately after this live stream ends is I'm actually going to be printing labels for all of the t-shirts and putting all of those in the mail. And I kind of sort of want to do it before the mailman comes because I'd like these to leave the house today, if at all possible. So if you entered the giveaway, rest assured your shirt will go into the mail today. And that hopefully you will receive it in a matter of days because I send everything first class mail. So you should not have a problem. But congrats to Christopher P for winning this. All right. So if there's other things that you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps and we can definitely dig into it. Again, the caps helps me to be able to see the comments here. I came up with a very generous 3.0 for the dirty grading book at first glance. I wasn't too far off. I think, yeah. I think one of the cool things about it is that if you are doing some buying of comics, right, online and things like that, you want to be able to do a little bit of some dirty grading to essentially be able to ballpark things for yourself, right? Because if someone is showing a book and they're like, this book is a perfect 10, and you kind of are able to glance at the photos that are provided to be able to know whether that is true or not, right? And so I think that you really need to effectively grade a book. You need the book in your hands and you need to be able to look at it in the light and change the angle and see how the book performs under light. You need to be able to open up the cover. There are people that take it beyond that and they use, magnifying glasses and certain lights and things like that to be able to see color, touch, and other types of imperfections. But by and large, what I was attempting to do with the dirty grading video was to give you some tools to be able to kind of sort of eyeball a book to know a general range for that book so as to not catch a brick, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that will overpay for something or will try to overprice something because they are trying to make some money, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't want to catch a brick. You don't want to catch a brick unnecessarily. And so you want to be able to look at what someone is offering and kind of evaluate for yourself whether it is this or whether it's that. And so that's what the dirty grading was all about, was about trying to provide folks with context. Now, based upon the comments and things like that people have sent over to me and or posted on the video, I may do another follow-up video. I did a video series a couple of years ago in which I basically defined some of the common terminology that is actually used in grading. And so I actually, it's been a long time since I've looked at any of that stuff, but people have been asking whether I can provide examples of what defects are. And so I want to try to honor that if I can. So I'm actually trying to go through my collection and identify books that have defects that I can showcase in a video. The challenge, of course, is that I don't have a whole lot of just like truly defective books. Like a lot of them have the same defect. Like a spine tick is like a universal thing, right? But there are certain defects that are really hard for me to find in my collection because I don't buy those types of books, right? And so it'll be a little bit of a challenge, but maybe between my collection and maybe some photos that I can find online, I may be able to put together a video that kind of illustrates some of these common defects that folks may see. And again, it's in furtherance of what has been started with this dirty grading and giving people some of the tools that they need to narrow down the field a little bit so as to not overpay for and not catch a brick in the face. So let me scroll down some of the comments here. So shout out to Tony. Tony, it's good to see you, brother. Tony is the owner of EGS, which is a third-party grading company out there. I actually connected him with somebody earlier today that was looking to get some information from him to potentially have a book or two graded. I think the person specifically was looking for some signature verification. So Tony, thank you for reaching out to that person. Hopefully they respond to you and you guys can actually make some magic happen. And if you guys do decide to go with EGS, rest assured that there is a discount code. There is a Regie Collects discount code, and the code is Regie Collects with 1G. If you put 2Gs, he multiplies whatever your price is by like 4. So make sure you use the 1G. So shout out to you, Tony. I definitely appreciate it. What is this? Let me scroll through some of the, there you go. Just Pele in the house. How you doing, brother? Hey, can you send me an email? I need you to send me an email, bro, because I started to do something earlier today, and I would like to partner with you. I'm using that term loosely, right? Partner with you on something because of some comments that you made. There's some things that I want to do that I think you might be able to serve as a sounding board for me. It's for a future video that I want to work on. So if you can send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com, I would definitely appreciate it, bro. It will not take up much of your time at all, and you may already be doing part of what it is that I'm looking at. So shout out to you, brother, for definitely coming in here. And he says he uses a jeweler's loop. See, he's high end. He owns a comic shop. He's high end. He's pulling out jeweler's loop like he's looking at diamonds. But these are the things that it starts with dirty grading. Next thing you know, you're pulling out a jeweler's loop. That's all I'm saying. It's a slippery slope. So let me scroll down to some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Scrolling. All right. It's the extra G penalty, man. I'm telling you. I mean, literally, my name is up here, literally, and I still get the double G occasionally. It's all good. Doesn't hurt my feelings. All right. So scrolling up. What is this? Reggie, what's up with Chadwick Boseman? He moved to Oakland. That's a question mark. I honestly don't know. I watched something the other day that was alluding to the fact that Chadwick may actually be sick or something like that. He may have moved to Oakland maybe because he plans to get his mind right for the Black Panther movie. I don't know. I just finished watching Black Panther 1 all over again, and it was, of course, had some scenes in Oakland. And so maybe he's trying to get his mind right. I don't know. I would not move to Oakland, but that's just me. I mean, maybe the Oakland Hills, but not Oakland proper. No, sir. I will not be up there. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Scrolling up through the comments, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps because it'll help me to actually see it. The real purpose of this live stream was, of course, to be able to give away a really cool book, and we did. Christopher P is getting this book right here, and then everyone else that picked up a t-shirt will be getting their shirts in a timely fashion. As soon as I wrap up this live stream, I'm going to go into the other room and start labeling all of the t-shirts that have been gently folded by my wife and placed up in plastic bags. And then those bags will be placed in other bags, and then labels will be affixed. And maybe there will be some extra little goodies that are tossed in there. I can't promise it, but maybe. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Heard Marvel will resume comic releases May 27th. I have not heard that, but it would make sense if that is indeed what they are saying, because it actually dovetails with essentially the timing of what Diamond has been saying. Diamond has been saying that they would start shipping mid to late May, and and Marvel has basically said they support Diamond, which could make sense because my guess is that there could be some comics that are currently at Diamond that could be shipped out immediately for like that first week. And then that will then open the doors up for the next one. I don't know. But if that's what Marvel is saying, it kind of sort of makes sense and falls in line with other things that we've been talking about. So let me scroll down. Through some of the comments here. The only double G should be the Gibbon gang. Facts. Scrolling down, that is correct. It did end in Oakland, but they were talking about, he was like, I bought that building over there and that building over there and that building over there. So my thought was that they may continue that in the next Black Panther, building out that area of Oakland that Wakanda now owns. So it'll be interesting to see if there's anything that's actually done with any of that. So scrolling down through, that's a legit point right there, Just Pele. That is a legit point. Not all of us are able to buy 9.8 of Fantastic 448. I'm gonna just put that out there. If I were in a position, I would definitely have my jeweler's loop. Definitely have that. Matt Woods, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Will my shirt be a 9.8, brother? Oh man, I left my 9.8 stickers are behind me. I was gonna have them close by so I could be like, you get a 9.8. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, there is some magic to the Regie Collects box cutter. You use these to open up your comics and they automatically come out as 9.8s. No guarantee though. Just throw it out there. Scrolling down. Brother, I have no artistic talent. None. No art. My wife is a pretty good artist, and my kids she'll go outside with the kids and she'll use chalk and she'll draw like elephants and all of these different scenes, like city scenes and animals and stuff like that, and chalk on the concrete in the backyard. And then I walk out there and I'm like, ooh, that's impressive. Then they look at me and say, Daddy, can you draw this? And I'm like, no, your mother's right there. Like, I have no artistic talent. That completely skipped me. I do, however, appreciate art. I am just not artistic at all. So Scrolling through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. I am waiting on issue 5 of Thor as well. I actually cited issue 5 in a recent video. You guys may see this next week. I'm not quite sure. I've been on a roll recording a couple of videos, but I cited the Black Winter. I cited the Black Winter that we will hopefully, understand better in the upcoming issues of Thor. So rest assured that when you see that video, I did not record the video after Comic Collection Agency dropped that little tidbit. Let me scroll. Man, I think that if they brought Mark Bagley back to ASM, that would be dope. I mean, but the problem is they need a new writer because Nick Spencer is not doing it for me, right? As a writer, Nick Spencer is not where he needs to be. I think that Ryan Otley, the graphic artist, I think he's talented. He draws a good Spidey. He draws a good Spidey. The problem is the story for me in the current run of Amazing Spider-Man is lacking. I do not enjoy it at all. I really did. There was a whole episode of Peter Parker but basically Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson arguing during a podcast. That was like the entire issue. It's not very good, but it is what it is. All right, so scrolling down through some of the comments here. See that Pit #1 made the wall. Man, that Pit #1 is fantastic. There's actually 2 image books up there. There's Savage Dragon #1, and then there's also the Pit #1. So that wall back there is all 9.8s. Everything that is up there is a 9.8, and I'm actually probably going to switch that wall out and substitute a different wall. I may do an all DC wall. Relatively soon. It's not the first time. It's not the first time that I've done it, but I may do an all DC wall up there very soon. So I got to, show the DC side of the house just a little bit of love, There's a comment here. I thought I read somewhere online that Disney was going to replace Chadwick because he is asking for more money, as he should ask for more money. Get that money, my friend. Get it. Scrolling down through what is this? XL and XXL sold out. Yeah. So we basically, so here's the thing is whenever I order shirts based upon historical ordering. Right. And so, and so part of it is I don't order a large quantity of things because I don't want to assume that people are going to buy them, right? So I order a relatively small number. Historically with XL, because I wear XL, that tends to get the largest order size because if no one buys them, I can always wear them, right? With the 2XL, I cannot wear a 2XL, right? But I typically get a handful of 2XLs because I know that there are some guys out there that will buy them. And so I want to make sure that I have them. I historically only order 4 XXLs per shipment. I've actually increased that to 5 for the next t-shirt order that I get. And that number will either go up or it will go down based upon how people buy, right? Because I have to make sure that I'm balancing my resources. And so if people aren't buying it, then I don't want to keep getting it. Same thing like with small shirts. I only get 2 smalls. That's it. I get 2 small shirts. That's it. I get a couple more mediums. And then the bolus, the bell curve, if you will, is really around the large, extra large, because I can wear those 2 size shirts, right? That's how it basically goes. But yeah, right now, just about everything is actually sold out. Just about everything is sold out on the website in terms of shirts. But that's good. That's a good thing, right? That prompts me to actually go out and order some new stuff, right? Agree with on the current Spider-Man run, still buy because habit is hard to break. Yeah, for me, it is one, the habit, but the other part is if I miss an issue, I can't say I have the full run anymore, right? So I have to keep buying it, right? I want to be like that guy, in 50 years where it's like I'm now selling my full run of Amazing Spider-Man for like $12 million. One can hope. I'd probably be senile by that point and my kids will be extremely rich. But yeah, I keep buying it because I want I want to have the full run of ASM. But with that said, it's like I don't buy double copies of it. I buy a single copy, I put it in the thing, and I occasionally read some of them. But it is not very good. But I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Did anyone say Hulk #1? Yeah, brother, that is gone. That is it. Well, it's still sitting here, but Christopher P actually has already won this book. Shout out to my man Matt right here, who has a fantastic copy of Amazing Spider-Man #129 at a 9.8. I am not jealous. I am, however, envious. That is all that I'm going to say. Scrolling down, a couple of people shouting out there needs to be some more DC on the wall. Yeah, man, I have enough because I only need 8 now. I think I have enough for one side. And I may have to put a couple of Raw books up there. I have a lot of DC just because I have a lot of Batman. But I don't have a whole lot of DC slabs books. That is my problem, which is why I think the last time I did a DC wall, it was like DC/Image, because I definitely have some Image books. But considering there's only 4 slots up there now versus 16, I may actually be able to do a full DC wall, especially because someone sent me a really dope AOK that is DC that is sitting over here right now. I can't put it on the wall until the video drops. So it may not be until like next week or whatever that I'm able to switch the wall out. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll buy some books. I don't know. Scrolling down through the comments here. If you search the channel for Regie Collects resources, there is a fantastic video that provides you with a ton of information on what I actually use. There's videos on the channel where I actually show you the product specifically. And if you head to my website, regiecollects.com, and you go to the partner page, there is actually a code there that will actually save you a couple of bucks. So there you go. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, at least 8, I think. Most of them have been AOKs. I would just be completely honest. I'll be completely honest about that. Most of them are AOKs. A lot of the DC books that I actually do have the ones that I bought are still raw, right? Are still raw. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. I'm trying to replace an old CGC case with a new one. Do I run the risk of having it regraded and getting a lower grade? What I would recommend is, well, one, there is always a risk, right? Because grading is part science, part art, because it is subjective, because there's a component of it that is subjective, you always run the risk, right? So my recommendation, however, is to really ask yourself, do you need to do it? Really? If it's a great grade, do you really need the new case, right? And if you decide that you need the new case, what I would recommend that you do is ask yourself, do you need to have it reholdered or regraded, right? If reholder, you basically just get the same grade, new case, done deal, right? But if you want to take the shot on getting a grade bump, what I would recommend is that you actually, as best you can, look at that book through the plastic, through the case, to try to identify pressable defects. If you can identify with your naked eye, or loop, if you're just Pele, some pressable defects, then you might want to take shot on goal to have that book cracked, clean, pressed, and regraded. But you have to ask yourself a couple of really tough questions as you go through that thought process to arrive at the end, right? Because there are lots of ways that you can do it, but it's like, if you're going to take shot on goal, make sure you're taking a solid shot on goal and you're not just rolling the dice willy-nilly, right? So take the time, look at it, ask yourself a couple of tough questions as to whether you need to do it, because realistically, if there are pressable defects that you can identify, you could potentially get a half to a full grade bump by having the clean and press, and maybe even a little more, depending upon that that component we were talking about, like the subjective nature of it all, but also how many pressable defects. How dirty might the book be, right? How good will the clean and press actually impact that book? So think about that. If you want to talk more about it, if you hit me on Instagram at Regie Collects, we can definitely chop it up more. Scrolling down through the comments here. Reggie, do you have the Hush? I do. I have, I think I have the entire storyline of Hush minus maybe one book, I want to say. actually in the collection. I have a lot of the Todd McFarlane orange cover books because those are just gorgeous covers. Like I have a healthy number of DC books, especially if they're like Kirby stuff, because I picked up a lot of Kirby DC stuff because Kirby transcends DC. But yeah, I definitely have that. Scrolling, Regie has to get a Teen Titans 12. If you don't, I don't have that book. I haven't even given that book away, to be honest with you. So scrolling through some of the comments here, get your wallet ready if you want to have it regraded. Facts. What? I got a reholder a while back and CGC regraded it and gave them a slight bump. Did you get it cleaned and pressed? Because normally with the reholder, they don't regrade the book. So maybe they did some special stuff for you. No, that's fantastic, man. I'll take a grade bump when I'm paying for a reholder. I will take that any day of the week. There's a couple of Jim Lees in there that are yeah, there's a couple of Jim Lees that are slabs. Scrolling up through the comments here. Yeah, man. Hey, there are things that are afoot that may make a whole lot of sense, my friend. There are things that are afoot that I am working my way through, and we will see what they look like on the other end. But rest assured, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in play. And again, some of the Patreon members actually know a lot of this stuff, but a lot of that stuff is there are sworn to secrecy. There's a blood oath that Patreon members take whenever they join, that they cannot reveal any secrets about anything that I tell them behind the scenes about what is a coming. But rest assured, there are some benefits. Nope, just the reholder. That's crazy. They said they will correct obvious misgrade. That is dope right there. I did not know that. Wait a minute. They will correct obvious misgrades most of the time if it's in my favor, because I don't want them to do that if it's not. You send in a 9-8 and they're like, no. We made a mistake. This is a 9-0. No. But if it's a grade bump in my favor, yeah, I'll go for that any day of the week. Regie needs a House of Secrets. I love how you guys are spending all my money. I love how you guys spend all my if anybody wants to send me really expensive DC books to hang on my wall for keeps, I'll take them. I'm gonna just put that out there. No, House of Secrets is a dope book. That is a dope book. That is a really cool Bernie Wrightson cover. There are a lot of DC books, man, that I really do like. There are a lot of DC books and characters that I dig. But for me, they don't compel me as much as the Marvel books do, right? I think that the Marvel books that I've grown up seeing all these years, they speak to me a different way than does a really nice DC Silver Age book. It speaks to me very, very differently, and there are a lot of DC books that I will eventually buy at some point, but there are so many more Marvel books that call to me, that beckon to me, and that require my attention. But at some point, look at the boy who has 7 spending my money up too. Look at this. Did I see your Instagram post? I don't know, bro. I don't know. You'd have to be a little bit more specific. I'm sorry. Sully 2 Kings just emailed me a copy of Teen Titans 12. He has an awesome IG page. Shout out to my man. Sully 2 Kings. Definitely a good dude. He has a sell page as well, because he's been selling a little bit on the Instagram machine, taking some of that advice from that guy Regie collects. So we always like to support people like that. Perry, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Sorry, you can't have my Gina, as soon as somebody said House of Secrets, I thought about you, and I was like, Oh man, House of Secrets, where'd it go? My man Just Pele said House of Secrets 92 is a good deal right now. 20 to 30% drop in 6 months. You cannot beat that. It is like super cheap. House of Secrets or a Werewolf by Night 32. I don't know, man. I've never read House of Secrets but I have read Werewolf by Night, and Werewolf by Night is kind of cool. I mean, Mark Spector is actually a pretty cool character, man. I mean, to be honest. So I don't know. That's a toss up, man. That's a toss up because of the historical significance of House of Secrets. That's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? But Werewolf by Night, man, is pretty cool. I don't own that one either, but it's pretty cool. Darren, how you doing? Finally made it to the tail end of one of your live streams. Bro, no, bro, we're going to go another hour just because you just arrived here. I tell everybody, I tell all 7,000 subscribers, everybody gets one show for them. Darren, this is your show / video. Sit back and enjoy it, my man. Randy in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Somebody just said he stopped by. Chris just found your channel. Thanks for the content, brother. You are very welcome, my friend. We have a good time here, man. We try to put out some really good content every single week, Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Then we go live a couple of times a week, and we try to have a good time, man. We try to create a positive, fun atmosphere here at the channel, and we also try to put out some content that is helpful to people. Right at the end of the day, right, it is about trying to make us all smarter. And so I try to put out good content that I can stand behind that actually helps people, right? And it may be informative, it may be educational. And when I get it right, then it's both. It is a combination of those things. But thank you for the kind words. I hope that you'll stick around and smash the subscription button. That way you can stay abreast of all the content that comes out from the channel every single week. My man Los, how you doing, brother? I was talking about you in a video. It was deep in a video, deep in a video. And you may not have heard it, but I was talking about you. And talking about, I think it was like a jealousy video where I was talking about how I take pleasure in watching people unbox books that have meaning to them. And right prior to recording that video, I watched you unbox something, and I can't remember what it was, but I can't remember if it was a live stream that you did or what. But you paused. You paused for a moment, and you were taking in that book and what you had achieved. And it was like, I don't even remember what the book was, but I remember the joy that you were expressing in that silence. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the cool things about this hobby, man, is that I can watch, Matt Woods or Backseat Driver. I can watch, many of these people open up these books, and I have no interest in those books. And that's not a criticism of them. That's not my book, right? But the joy that fellas and women take in the books that they get is what I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that feeling. I know when you open that box up and you see that book that you've wanted for a long time, and it becomes real. I know that feeling. You know what I'm saying? And so Lo, shout out to you, brother, for keeping it real, for putting out good content. Definitely appreciate that. Scrolling down, Blue Ocean in the house. What is this? Regie, when are you going to start the CGC Simmons comic grading? Never. I am never going to go down the road of grading comics or pressing comics for people. That is not my jam. That is not my jam at all. I am not touching any of that stuff. There are things that I want to do on this channel and in this hobby, and that ain't one of them. I thought a long time about opening a comic store, and I don't even know if that would be my jam. Doing some work, listening to Regie. Scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Matt Woods in the house. Love comics. That comic, House of Secrets 92, is his all-time favorite key. Had my dad's copy from back in the day. Wow, that is dope right there. Wow. Do you only deal in high-grade stuff? I'm curious. No, that's awesome. I didn't know your dad was into comics. That's actually pretty cool. That is actually pretty cool. I wish my father were, because that would be dope right there. I'm telling you, I'm guessing the comics that I could have been handed, when I started collecting would have been impressive. It's part of what I want to do for my kids, man. I'm going to have my own stuff, and I'm going to just hand it to them and be like, here you go. Don't spend it all in one place. Scrolling down. I am not close at all, my friend. I am not close at all. And as I mentioned in the video where I talked about that, I'm not going to be providing you guys any updates on AF-15 because it is not necessarily a straight road. I'm going to be honest with you. I am taking a little bit of a meandering approach to it. And I'm going to be honest with you. There may be one day where I just pop up and I'm like, boom, here it is. Because I'm always doing things behind the scenes that I never really talk about until they're done. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I'm going to move with this one. And at some point I will do an unboxing and the video thumbnail will be like my face like this. And then you'll know that I picked up Amazing Fantasy 15. So, at some point, no, I deal with all grades, but seek out high grades mostly. I love that. I love that right there. Shout out to you, my friend. Just my dad's collection is pretty nuts. He's a DC fan. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. That's just awful. Joking. We love DC. We love all comic book. Publishers out there. Second time on a live chat, finally caught it again. Welcome, my friend. The low grade hero. What is this? My dad bought me my first comic book, Death of Superman, because he saw it on the news. It was supposed to be big for its time. It was 48 million in one single month back in the day. It was huge. Not in terms of value, but in terms of quantity printed, 48 million or so, I think. Let me not exaggerate. I think the print quantity for that month or so was about 48 million. I don't think there were 48 million copies of that particular comic. Sorry about that. All right. So we may just wrap this thing up because I do want to go start bagging up all of these t-shirts to send out to folks. I want to thank everybody. If this is your first time catching me in a live stream, I want to say welcome to you. And I want to say thank you for being a part of your very first live stream. If you're second or your third or your fourth, I want to say welcome to you as well. Make sure you hit the subscription button, turn on notifications so that you can stay abreast of what I do here at the channel. If you are a long-term viewer, I want to give a shout out to you. One of the things that I am very thankful of, honestly, is the community that has been built around this channel, because you guys are welcoming people into the chat, all of these new folks, before I can even see them. And so I want to thank you guys, all the blue wrenches out there, all the Patreon members, which are sometimes the same people. I want to thank all of you guys for continuing to support the channel. If you guys need me, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Regie Collects. And I don't know, I may go live later tonight. I may be feeling frisky. I don't know. I may be feeling frisky. I may go live again later tonight. So I definitely would encourage you, if you haven't turned on notifications, to turn it on, because I may just pop up in here and just do it all over again. All right. So with that, like I said, if you guys need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram at Regie Collects. And I am not too hard to find if you need me. Take care.